In this example, we are trying to graph a circle, but it's not in standard form. I don't know the center and I don't know the radius. So when your equation of your circle is expanded like this and not in standard form, you're going to have to do what's called completing the square. So we are going to have to complete the square, which is a skill that you learned in Algebra 1, but we haven't really used it in a long time. But it's something that you learned before in Algebra 1, and it's going to come up again next year in Algebra 2. So it's a really good skill to have. So the way that you complete the square is you're going to group your terms that have an x in them together. So I'm going to put x squared minus 8x, and then I'm going to leave a little space. Then I'm going to group my terms that have a y in them, so y squared plus 2y, and then I'm going to leave a little space, and then I'm going to have an equal sign. And then if there was a constant number over on the left side, I would combine like terms if I needed to and move it to the right side. Basically, I want only variables on the left side of my equation, and then I want to move all of my constants, all of my numbers to the right side. So I don't have any constants to move over in this equation, but I might in another problem. So that -8 is just going to chill over there on the right side. So the way that completing the square works is you are essentially manipulating the situation. We're figuring out what number would need to go right here in order for me to factor this quadratic. And I'm going to actually add a number in here. But if I add something to the left side of my equation, I have to keep it balanced. So whenever I'm adding to the left side of my equation on the left side of that equal sign, I also have to add it to the right side of the equal sign. So what you're going to do is you are going to look at each quadratic, and you are going to take b, which if you think of quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. B is this coefficient of your x term. So in our situation, our b is -8. So b is -8. The way that you complete the square is you're going to take b, divide it by 2, and then square it and add it to both sides. So I'm going to take -8. -8 divided by 2 is -4. -8 divided by 2 is -4. And then -4 squared is positive 16. When you square a negative, it becomes positive. So I'm going to add 16 right here. And I'm also going to add 16 to the right side because I can't just add something randomly to the left side without also adding it to the right side. Then I'm going to repeat this process for my y's. So there's actually technically a plus sign right here. Y squared plus 2y. My b is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I take my b, divide it by 2, and then I'm going to square it. 1 squared is 1. So I'm going to add 1 to the left side, and I'm also going to add 1 to the right side. Okay, so now what I can do, what I've just done by completing the square, now I can factor this quadratic. Now I can think, okay, what are two numbers that multiply to give me positive 16, but add together to give me -8? Well, -4 and -4. -4 times -4 is positive 16. -4 plus -4 is -8. A hint. That number that you're looking for is b divided by 2. -8 divided by 2 is -4. So this factors to x minus 4 times x minus 4, which is x minus 4 squared. The whole point of completing the square is to be able to factor it, so that way I have a perfect square trinomial. So if you can't factor it, you did something wrong. That's the whole purpose of completing the squares, to make it factorable. Okay, then I'm going to think, what are two numbers that multiply to give me positive 1 and add to give me positive 2? Well, positive 1 and positive 1. Positive 1 plus positive 1 is positive 2. Positive 1 times positive 1 is positive 1. So this will factor to y plus 1 times y plus 1, which is y plus 1 squared. And then negative 8 plus 16 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And so now, this looks like the equation of a circle. This looks like standard form for the equation of a circle. The center of my circle is 4, negative 1. And my radius, this is my radius squared, so my radius is 3. So now I can go over here and graph this circle. My center is at 4, negative 1. And my radius is 3. Up 3, 1, 2, 3. To the right 3, 1, 2, 3. Down 3, 1, 2, 3. And to the left 3, 1, 2, 3. So my circle is going to look a little something like that. So again, the whole point of completing the square is to get it to be factorable. So if you have a equation of a circle that's not in standard form, first you want to group your x's with your x's, your y's with your y's, and move all of your constants to the right. Then you want to complete the square by taking b, which b is the coefficient of your x term, divide it by 2, and square it. You're going to add that value to the left, and you're going to add that to the right. You're going to add b divided by 2 squared to the left. You're going to add b divided by 2 squared to the right. And then you can factor, and you should get your equation in standard form. So you should be able to find the center and the radius, and then you can go graph it.